Craig Shelton here from HMW and UTN with Texans left tackle Dwayne Brown. Dwayne, appreciate your time. Recently, you made the comment that the Texans may have gotten a bit complacent toward the end of the season, and there are some in the market that are, I'll say, trying to make a big deal out of something that I don't think is particularly a big deal. You want to explain yourself a little bit more on that?
Yeah, well, I stand by my comments. Saying we're complacent. I don't mean in this. And it's not a good thing. It's at any time to do that. But I don't mean complacent as in we lost our hunger to want to achieve more, or that we lost the sight of a big goal that we had. What I mean is by the style of football we were playing. We got to the point we were 11-1, and we felt like we're pretty good. Our offense is good. Our defense is firing on all cylinders. We got teams numbered, and towards the end of the season, we slowly got away from that. We didn't have the sense of urgency that we had in previous weeks when we approached the game to game. The want to was there, the effort was there, but the sense of urgency to want to come out and get to that style of Texans football that we were accustomed to playing just wasn't there. So when I say complacent, I mean we didn't come out as fiery as we had before. We always had a goal in mind of where we wanted to get accomplished. We always came out feeling like we could get the job done. I don't want to mean complacent as in, we were in the playoffs. That's all we want to get to. That wasn't it. That wasn't what my comments meant at all.
So, as the veteran leader on this team, one of the veteran leaders on this team, you take from that what going into this season? That
number one, teams are going to line up. When they see the Texans on the schedule, they're going to come out with their A game. We've reached a new level as an organization to where a new level of respect from other teams. So we have to come out with our A game. We can't come out flat. We can't end flat. We have to play 60 minutes of grinded out, hard-nosed football. And that's something that we didn't do toward the end of the stretch, the end of last season.
So there definitely will be no complacency on any level this year or any confusion about that for anybody.
No complacency, man. There's not an individual on this team that's complacent with what has been done, by ourselves or by this organization, And so we're coming out hungrier than ever and with high expectations.
We appreciate that, Dwayne. Appreciate your time. This is Craig Shelton from Houston Media Watch, and we'll see you later. Folks, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video from Texans left tackle Dwayne Brown responding to comments by one of the local sports talk radio hosts here in Houston who commented on his show on CBS Radio. We're speaking of Houston's Josh Ennis, host of the JNR show on Sports Radio 610, that's CBS Radio, commented that he felt that Dwayne Brown's comment a week or so ago was something to question and make issue of, where Dwayne Brown and Andre Johnson, to be in fact, actually commented that, last season the team may have gotten a bit complacent late in the year, and Mr. Ennis felt that was something that should be talked about in terms of if the Texans did in fact last season lose focus, isn't that on Kubiak and isn't it on the veterans on this team to make sure that it doesn't happen? I think the veterans on this team, even though they may be great football players like Andre Johnson or a good football player like a Matt Schaub, they're also in a new era for the Texans in regard to how they manage a playoff level team and how to manage a season when you have a great roster, a good, really, really good roster. And I just think there's a learning process even for the veterans on this team. I think they all probably learned a lot from how they managed things last season, philosophically and just mentally, how they approach the game. You got to stay strong and focused throughout the season like we do right here on the Cut, because we're definitely focused, and we're going to get back into some dialogue in regard to the Texans and Vikings first preseason game. I want to throw this out there to you guys, and anybody feel free to jump in and comment on this one. I want to know what you were thinking. When Minnesota went into man-to-man coverage, DeAndre Hopkins was at the receiving end of that long pass from T.J. Yates, and you saw Hop go up and make that that was a fun football play to watch. And let's face it, just like Mario's rookie year, we couldn't wait to see Mario get a sack. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, wow, I'm having a Mario moment. You know what I mean? what were you guys thinking when you saw DeAndre go up and that list? Fielder didn't have a chance on that play. If you go back and look at the steal shot on that, he was so. And DeAndre Hopkins is not 6'4", 6'5". He's 6'1".
Maybe.
Yeah, he's about 6'1". And hey, hop, Nuke had some hops. What were you guys thinking?
Great play, and it's nice to see that on the field. Some balance for Andre Johnson. You start to just foam up at the mouth and just it's a good football play, and that's what you want to see. You want to see options. You want to see diversity on the field. You want to see people that can make plays, and we haven't had that, so it
was an anti-Kevin Walter kind of play.
It was a non-blocking play.
There was no blocking.
It was like
involved in that play.
The exact opposite of Kevin Walter, right? And this guy, he went up and made a football play. I mean, the hand.
Couldn't you see Kubiak running up the sideline? You forgot
the
to
hand
chip
on the shoulder,
that
the
play.
separation, the field awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, he made, to your point, he made himself bigger than what he was. He made himself a bigger target. You don't typically see that with a rookie.
And even though we all know that was an incomplete pass,
Yeah.
unless there was some league rule change this year. But anyway, go
I
ahead.
like that they went vertical. I just want to see the Texans get vertical this season because they have some people that can go vertical now. Let's stop being so conservative and just dumping it off underneath. I'm getting sick of seeing it. I'm sick of it.
Let me read you guys a quote. Go ahead.
Go ahead. A tear. I was like, that's my backup quarterback.
Not his backup quarterback. Your backup quarterback.
I'm done on that one. Your boy not done, man. If this was a nasty little Twitter battle, I'd just log off for the next hour, man. We get a quote from Gary Kubiak on Hopkins. He was asked about it after the game. He says it's very early, but he has had probably a good camp as you can have for a younger player, and it carried over tonight. It's good to see that he gets more comfortable with what we're doing. The more he plays, the more plays he's going to make. And that was Gary Kubiak on DeAndre Hopkins. After he caught that touchdown, I thought and I forget Spencer Tillman, and I forget the other gentleman's name that was calling the game. But they highlighted something that I like to look at little subtle things like this. After that touchdown catch, they showed the second replay of it. DeAndre was on the sideline, and many of the Texans were coming to congratulate him. And he was, he just kind of flexed and just kind of was celebrating, but no dance, no cocky stuff. You could tell he was happy that he had made the play. But I just thought his demeanor meant something. I'll get you guys to comment. Is that kind of stuff overblown? I guess I'll start with you on that one, John. Do we make too much of a guy's personality, the lack of, or the amount of swag a guy has?
No, not at all. I think this team needs some swag. They need a kick in the ass, to be honest with you. I mean, last year when Cushing went out, my biggest concern, and of course I talked about it at midnight because I was doing overnights last year, so I'm sure nobody heard it. But when Cushing went out, I really feared for the defense because I felt like the attitude was gone. Whatever attitude they had is right there in that Jersey boy in the middle who takes nothing off anybody, who will headbutt a Cleveland Browns lineman and leave bleeding. Everybody's they were all looking to Cushing for how they're supposed to respond. And now all of a sudden, on the offensive side of the ball, you got a guy that's not going to, Dre's not going to talk, and DeAndre's not going to talk, but he's just going to make plays. I took out of that when he got up and he made that play. I don't think he's feeling a ton of pressure, but I think he probably felt like, yeah, I'm here. I just announced my presence with authority, and now all of you have got to step up to my level. And I think that just got that big, huge monkey off his back as if to say, I have arrived. But it felt like it was pressure being released because he caught a couple balls earlier, and it just didn't look like him. He just didn't look comfortable. The one that he caught on the sideline on the third down run, he kind of stumbled. He just didn't look comfortable. But he made that play, and it just kind of felt like you could just see that tension just leave him.
Getting that first one out
just open him up.
What
else I think it did was it made the other receivers that have already been in the system take a look and say, look, we need to step our game up. Mm-hmm. This guy's out here making plays. I'm Lestar Jean. I'm Keyshawn Martin. I need to step my game up because I need to get out here and catch balls and make plays just like that.
That's a good point because you could really see the energy level on the, kind of change. I would say coming through the TV, but we couldn't see anything on the TV. But
Ouch.
in case you folks don't know, there was some problems with the Texans broadcast, and you should know if you don't. Where the hell you been? You should be watching the games. But I thought I saw some body language change on the sideline. You know what I mean? And I'm one of the people. I buy into all of that stuff. I make a deal of that guy. I like to see
It's
like
overblown
Lister Jean.
sometimes.
I don't like Lister Jean's body language. I think he feels like he's not a part of this.
Let me tell you where it's
This team.
important. It's overblown sometimes because sometimes we'll see something and make more of it than it is.
Mhm.
But where it's not overblown is that confidence, that what he exudes. Forget what you think or I think.
Mhm.
That makes Gary Kubiak go, okay, this is what we need to do. See, last year when he had Lister Jean and DeVere Posey and Keyshawn Martin, the three rookies basically, Lister was on the team the year before he hadn't
Yep.
played. Those guys never did that. They never showed him that confidence. So the quarterback, Matt Schaub didn't believe in him, so he wasn't going to throw to him. Gary Kubiak didn't even put him out there. They weren't even out there on the field. We criticized him for not making catches. They were getting no snaps.
My criticism was more about reps.
Yeah, put them out there and let me see some. But had they gone out there and done what DeAndre Hopkins has done from day one at the first day of practice, mini camp and on, they would have gotten more reps.
No doubt. Good job, fellas. Hey, folks, we got one more segment to go with you on the night show, and I think we're doing pretty good. We might find something else to debate before it's all said and done. How about that? All right, hang in there. We're going to run and pay a couple bills, as they always say, and we'll be right back here on UTN 43.8. It's The Cut.